Good morning. This is Shri here with a quick recap of the fourth round matches, the rest of the fourth round matches in the Australian Open Down Under. So let's quickly get down to the match that was just incredible yesterday between Sinner and Rune. And it definitely lived up to the expectations. I think when I looked at the match play yesterday, I was able to watch a lot of the first and second sets, Sinner and Rune going at each other. The first set, Sinner runs up to a 3-0 lead, definitely put Rune in the back foot. But Rune, give credit to Rune, he fought back, lost 6-3, but then comes back roaring in the second set, winning it at 6-3. But I do think that one of the key highlights of this match was one of the brilliant, I would call it the point of the tournament so far, with both players battling it for about a minute or so. But it just explains to you, just watching the point over and over again, I got to watch it at least 3 times, just shows the incredible court coverage by both the players, but more about Sinner. But I think that shot one he hit where Sinner was able to move Rune all over the court, just like Rune did the same thing to him. But the court coverage, the way he was able to move very quickly and set up the point, and then eventually finish the point, coming to the net and hitting a volley at the net, that was just incredible to watch. And there was another point as well where Sinner hits a forehand and then was able to quickly shift all the way to the backhand side and whips down the line. That was definitely, as the commentator said, that's the shot the world number one makes. So there you go with Sinner. Sinner wins rather comfortably against Rune in the fourth set and goes on to the quarterfinals. Now, one thing that I did observe there was that I think there was Sinner definitely seemed uncomfortable. He had to take a medical timeout. So something something for us to keep track of when he plays the quarterfinals. And I do think that he probably plays, who does he play? I think he plays de Minaur, who's the Australian local favorite. So let's quickly get down to de Minaur. De Minaur played Alex Michelsen from the United States. The first set was a blur for Alex. He just was completely overwhelmed by de Minaur. De Minaur didn't give him many shots to look at, and he won it rather easily 6-0. The second set was a different story. Give credit to Alex, came back, and even in the tiebreaker at 5-all, he hit a great serve. It was just a de Minaur's excellent defense, get the ball back, and then he makes a great point there. But I think if that point had gone in Michelsen's favor, that would be 1-all. And again, not saying that de Minaur could not have pulled his game out, and I think this is the first Australian Open quarterfinal, but Alex was, I think, outplayed by a player who's playing at a very high level at this point. So Alex de Minaur moves on, beating Alex Michelsen. And then we get to the Fritz killer, Monfils, who played against the young Ben Shelton from the United States. And this was a classic for 3 sets. It could have gone either way. I definitely saw Shelton, not just from his serve standpoint, I definitely see his inside-out forehand where he's able to hit that shot with precision. I was very impressed with the way he played against Monfils. His game is totally it's becoming a full package, not just to serve. Monfils, I think playing a lot of matches definitely took a toll on him, but Shelton was just a better player. All the 3 sets that they played until the eventual walkover were all tiebreakers. And even in the tiebreakers were almost like a one-sided affair on both sides. Shelton and Monfils won it rather easily when they won that particular tiebreaker set. So in the fourth set, with Shelton leading 1-0 at 40 love, it was Monfils had to call it quits. And what a player! Will this be the last time we will see Monfils on the Australian Open tennis courts, or even other areas by other Grand Slams? But it gives everything on the court. There was a very long chat at the net between Shelton and Monfils. Just shows you how much Shelton definitely respects Monfils, an elder statesman of the game. And it was very nice to watch. I mean, usually you don't see this kind of camaraderie between the players. So there you go with the Monfils. And then we had the other match, the American Tien playing against Sonego. And this was a very good game for Sonego, the first two sets. He was just incredible. I mean, took a 3-0 lead in the first set. Didn't give many chances to Tien. Tien played well. I mean, he moved Sonego all around the court, but Sonego almost had the ultimate winner. And he's a very sneaky kind of a player. You think he's not very athletic, but he can definitely move very quickly, comes to the net. And Tien, with his lefty, he was able to cause a lot of problems here and there, but Sonego was on point. But then the third set, Tien really took on himself to apply a little more pressure. He was a little more aggressive, I thought. Just watching the highlights, didn't get to watch the whole game. And he really pushed Sonego to his back foot, hit the ball very deep, and was able to hit some winners in the open court. But then Sonego was able to rebound, get back to his winning ways, and won it rather easily. So there you have it. We all the quarterfinal matches are set right now. You have the first match being you're going to have the Tommy Paul and Zverev in the quarterfinal. Again, Tommy Paul has been playing really well. He just comes off, I think, gave up 3 games in the previous game. And Zverev is someone who's knocking on the door, like we always keep saying, knocking on the door for his elusive Grand Slam title. I feel that just looking at it, I think I predicted Zverev to go to the semifinal in my preview. I'm still going to stick with that. Zverev, again, it'll be a very good game match. I think it'll go to the 4 sets or 5 sets, and Zverev will eventually pull it through. But then comes the blockbuster matchup between Djokovic and Alcaraz, and I think I've already talked about this thing. I'm going to stick with Alcaraz. Djokovic is not going to be pushover. Obviously, he's world. He's been world number 1, and he's knocking on the door for his 25th Grand Slam title. But I do feel that on this day, Alcaraz, the only thing which has some doubt I have is that if Alcaraz's new serving causes some problems and he gets into the second serve, that could potentially pose a problem for Alcaraz. But I think this is going to be a 5-setter. This is not going to be done. It starts at 4:10 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow morning around 4 o'clock. And will probably won't be done by like 8:39 a.m. And then you got the Australian playing against Sinner. So Sinner versus de Minaur. That's going to be a fun matchup. Now, de Minaur has been playing well, and with Sinner, definitely they had to check for his blood pressure, apparently. I don't know if there's anything going on there, but this could potentially cause for an upset. But I'm going to stick with Sinner because that's the person I picked to win the final in my preview. So I'm going to stick with Sinner. I'm going to stick with Alcaraz. I'm going to stick with Zverev. And then comes to Shelton and Sonego. Who gets to go to their first semifinal? I feel that Shelton has been sneakily playing so good, and he's played really well. I mean, when you look at what he has done in this Australian Open, he beat Musetti. That's one. He took out one Italian, obviously. Then he beat Nakashima. A lot of people actually picked him to lose to Nakashima, and then he played Coreno. Then he played Musetti. Then he played Monfils. So he's actually played excellent players throughout his thing. So I do think that he's much more ready to move on, and I'm definitely picking Shelton. But, from an American standpoint, how cool would that be if we can have Shelton and Paul in the semifinal? I think that'll be really cool because it's been a while since we've saw that two Americans in the semifinal. Actually, we did see it in the, I believe we did see it in the Fritz and Tiafoe match in the U.S. Open. But Paul and Shelton going in, that's the next set of other players. You know, it's very good for American tennis. You're seeing a lot of good players coming in. And I definitely think it'll be amazing for American tennis. But with that, I wrap up the fourth round. We have the quarterfinals all set. Looking forward to all these matches. All these matches are just going to be incredible. And let's hope for some good tennis. Thanks again for listening.